Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Mark Donahue. This is On the Mark is the name of our podcast. I forgot to mention that.
You're really botching this.
And our guest is Becca.
Are you going to
She
introduce
didn't even
me?
know it. Oh yeah, this
Read you!
boisterous
This is
bell.
such a together, you're fucking it up.
All right, cut. Good evening and welcome
just
to
re-recording.
tonight's episode of On the Mark. I'm your host, Mark Donahue, and this luscious lady is Lauren Beer.
Hey, I don't exist.
Oh, I'm
We're
about to
not
introduce
there
the
yet.
guest.
There's a process.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of On the Mark. I'm your host, Mark Donahue, and this this Chaka Khan.
What it's gonna be?
Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of On the Mark. I'm your host, Mark Donahue, and this hilarious hooligan with me is Ms. Lauren Beer.
Hey there. Hilarious hooligan.
You are a pretty hilarious hooligan.
That's not as nice as belle, dame, or lady.
Well,
Hooligan.
what can you do?
Nothing, I guess.
That's true. So, it's a bit of a sad episode.
Why?
Well, it's your last episode
Yeah.
as co-host on the podcast.
I could call in.
Well, we'll see if we can figure out that technology. We're not that technologically savvy.
That's
yet.
true, since our whole setup is a phone and a candle.
Yeah, it's a phone sitting on a candle to sort of...
It's not,
raise
the
it.
candle's not lit, just
No,
so
that's-
everyone is aware.
That's right, yeah.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, Lauren,
yes?
there's no farewell show without a montage of our best moments. Lauren, play the clip.
I don't have a clip to play.
Why didn't you make a clip, Lauren?
I didn't
You
know
should
this
have known to make a clip. What kind of farewell show?
I didn't know this was going to be my farewell show. I figured we could use, I don't know, the telephone. It's been around a while, or Skype. It's been around for
Not as long,
a number
but
of years. Not as long, but for many
that's true.
years. Did you know, actually, I'll save this for interesting facts later, never mind.
All right. Well,
Well,
who do we have as a guest?
tonight's guest, unbeknownst
Is
to
a
her
surprise.
until 6 minutes ago,
To her, mostly.
is Becca Steenstra.
Becca Steenstra.
Yeah. Hi. Crazy.
You're not supposed to talk yet.
Yeah, sit in the corner and shut up, Roy.
Don't talk until we've started the episode. This is the cold opening. It's just me and Lauren. No guest. You're not supposed to be in the room. Shh. Jeez Louise.
Amateur hour.
It's Becca, but we've also got a big surprise.
What's the big surprise?
Some of your best friends are going to be dropping in throughout the evening
This
to
is
speak on the
true.
podcast.
We could have a couple
We've got a
of...
whole barrage of guests.
This is like Jimmy Fallon when people show up and give him $100 because they didn't think he was going to ever be the host of The Tonight Show. My farewell episode of On the Mark is going to feature some of my favorite people. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah,
I've made it. This is me. There. At it.
good. Lolo, start the show!
And we're back.
Oh, you did it before
Took
I could.
the words right out of your mouth, you scally.
We're here with Becca Steenstra.
You're allowed to talk now.
Now you may talk.
Okay, I will talk now. Hi, everyone.
Good opening, Becca. Now everyone, I feel like they have your entire essence.
Yeah.
I guess the episode is over. Thanks for joining us.
So, Becca, what's it like dating the host of a popular and successful
Becca
podcast?
doesn't want to talk about our relationship, Mark.
It's interesting. It's definitely a roller coaster.
A roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster.
Do you remember that song by Bewitched?
No.
No, it was called.
I've never
Ghost
heard
Town.
of. I don't remember the,
The
song,
band
nor I've
Bewitched?
never heard of this.
Oh,
band
come
Bewitched.
on! They have this song. Hey boy, sitting in a tree. Everybody wants me to come for tea. Don't be shy. Straighten
No,
up your
I don't
tie,
remember
get down
such a
from the
thing.
tree house, sitting in the sky. Come on! It was the where I went. It was the shit.
The only thing I know about Bewitched is the show.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm
Bewitched,
talking
she like
about.
would wiggle her nose. And
Actually,
turn
my mom
people
can
into
wiggle her
frogs or
nose
something.
like that.
My grandma can make her nose.
No, she would wiggle her ears.
But it's kind
No,
of.
she wiggled her nose.
My grandma can do both, but it's more bunny rabbit than Bewitched. You know.
No, my mom can actually do like the Bewitched wiggling your nose because
Strange.
well, because her mom, my nana, told her that if there's something you don't like about yourself, do something cool with it. So my mom hated her nose, and
She have a big
Bewitched.
schnoz.
Well, we have a similar nose, so thanks.
I didn't know you had a similar nose, Becca. Don't even take that personally.
Anyway, she didn't like her nose, so she decided that, and like Bewitched was on at the same time, so she decided that she was going to learn how to wiggle her nose.
It creeps me out that, like, okay, yeah, hands, arms, legs, you know, head, various appendages, you should be able to move freely. But something that is fully fixated to a part of you, like your nose or your ears, you shouldn't be able to independently move. Like, a part of you, like, eyebrows are supposed to move, lips are supposed to move, but, like, your nose isn't supposed to just hop about. Like, that, it's
Yeah.
Lord of the Dance nose version. It's just not right.
That's something that they haven't thought of yet. Lord of the Dance nose.
I would pay to
You know?
see that.
Nostrils flapping about in every direction. Awkward. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I've never actually, I don't think, seen an episode of Bewitched.
I've seen one or two.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I've seen one or two.
Samantha was her name.
Yeah.
Samantha?
Was the witch. She was played by Elizabeth Montgomery.
I remember
long
there
dead.
being a Bewitched movie.
With
That
Nicole
was
Kidman.
terrible.
And I
with
heard,
Will
it was,
Ferrell.
I heard it was totally
That was
shit.
dreadful.
It was so
Will
bad.
Ferrell was in that
Will
too?
Ferrell and Nicole
I don't
Kidman.
find him funny, just as a rule.
I find him funny.
I
but
really like him in
not in
Elf.
Bewitched.
That's about
I
it.
hate Elf. I'm sorry, this is an
hate
unpopular
Elf?
opinion, but I actually hate Elf with a
I really
burning
enjoy it.
passion.
My sister made us, my whole family, custom made mugs with Elf quotes on them for Christmas. So I'm pretty sure mine said, "I'm a cottonhead nitty muggins." My sister-in-law's said she's like very inclusive and very like she's a social person and she works with persons with disabilities and she's awesome. Anyway, hers said something about it's like the quote is like I'm so lucky to have met another human with an affinity for elf culture, which I roared at. I laughed and laughed and laughed. I don't think anyone else found it funny, but I did.
No, I find Elf really stupid. I don't appreciate the humor, I guess.
Hmm.
I find Elf is either one of those movies. It's one of those movies where either people
You either
love
love it or hate it.
or just
It's like
hate it.
School of Rock, which I
Yeah.
also
I
love.
love School of Rock.
What a fantastic
Lauren can do
friggin'
some
movie.
School of Rock. Do some School of Rock.
Oh well, there's just one problem there. The band is mine. It's a problem. We used to just riff on that.
I remember
in
that.
university.
With Stefan, yeah.
It was the bomb. One of the best things ever. I don't know. School of Rock is just for winners, you know?
No, I appreciate School
And
of
it
Rock.
references so many ridiculously fantastic artists. Like, it's just, if you knew nothing about pop culture in terms of music, that would
On the kick
be
drum.
come
On
on the kick drum.
On the kick drum.
Different movie.
Come. But that's another Stefan reference, though.
That is,
I'm
he
just
does
thinking of
that as
Stefan
well.
things that he just references randomly.
Sim.
I know it's Sim.
Everybody
Everyone
self-sim.
Big shout out to Stefan.
Big shout
Okay,
out
what
to
we're doing now is we've taken our hands and we've
You
sort
kind
of
of
curved them.
cup your fingers towards you
Cup your
and then
fingers
throw
towards
them
you,
at
and then
yourself real
throw them
quick
at yourself and go
say
sim. Self-sim.
And then you sim others. You can do that to others. Sim. Becca, sim.
That was a high five. Y'all almost got it, but that was... Becca's not really talking very much on
I'm
this
sorry,
episode
you
of the
guys are
podcast.
very like dominating hosts. At least
Who
tonight.
told
We are
them so?
hosts,
I don't
Becca.
think that's the case at all.
That is kind of the point.
Well,
If we
anyway,
weren't-
Becca, tell us a little bit about
Yeah, Becca.
yourself.
that's my line, bitch.
So, yeah, well, you took my, and we're back.
That's true.
So-
And everything is just topsy turvy.
It's an opposite day podcast.
Anyway, Becca, what were you saying?
Becca just looks so unamused.
That's just a permanent expression on my face and starting to date
Unamused.
you.
I was gonna say.
Well, in case it hasn't been established, I am Mark's girlfriend. We have been together for... Mark, how long have we been together?
Oh, it depends on who you ask.
It does. Okay,
It's
here's a
been-
question to the audience. Do
They
They
can't
can't
answer
respond. This is going to be a week
It's
later.
a podcast.
Post in the comments.
No, I'm curious what the other people say, though. I'm curious what other people say.
All right,
Do you
well,
start a
ask.
relationship? Do you start a relationship when you start dating the person, or do you start a relationship when you've agreed to be in a relationship with the person?
Before you answer that, Lauren, I'm going to get our first mystery guest.
Ooh, mystery guest.
I'll be back.
I don't know. See, this is the thing. Is I feel like technically it would be when you have decided officially to be in a relationship, like a monogamous or whatever relationship with that person. That being said, I feel like once you've made the decision to be in a monogamous relationship with that person, you could count all of the time you've been seeing one another.
Yeah, that's true. See,
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
like you wouldn't say, oh, you know, we've been together this long if it's a casual or open relationship. Like you're not
Yeah.
officially together, however you want to word it. But I feel like once you are, then you could say like we've been together for 17 months, but you know, officially only for 15, but you've been together that long on a technicality. That's
Yeah,
how I would say it.
Because he counts it from when we first started dating, but I count it from when we were like in a relationship.
Well,
And so people always ask us how long we've been together, and they just get an awkward silence.
you should both answer different, and then end up going to couples counseling.
Just
It'll cause a riff.
yeah, just we can't agree how long we've been together, so we're gonna break up.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
That'd
Actually.
be the most ironic reason to break up.
Well, I'm excited for this mystery guest.
I am.
I don't
too.
know who it is, but jazzed up I am.
I think there might even be more than one.
Yes. This is my moment. All of these people. Hopefully
all
they're going
here
to talk
for
about
you.
me.
Yeah.
'Cause
Just
I'm
how great you are.
delightful. Anyway, we'll be right back with the mystery guest. Whoever it is, get excited.
Or who? What's the plural of whoever it is?
I don't know. But we'll figure
Whoever
it out
they-
and we'll let you know when we come back.
Whoever they are.
Whoever they are, exactly.
And we're back, and I'm back, and I've got our first mystery guest. It's none other than she's making her way to the table. It's Meg Julian.
Hello!
Meg Julian.
I'm here. Have a beer. Everything's good.
I was gonna hope you were gonna.
I thought you were
rhyme
going to
all
say
night.
everything's clear. and
Everything
or
is clear.
I enjoy deer.
Except there's a lot. Like
There's a
I'm
lot
not
of-
good at pouring beer.
That's
apparently.
terrible.
There's
That's a
lot of-
terrible pour.
lot of foam
There's
on this.
3/4 of her mug is foam. The most head I've ever seen over here. We went to a bar last night,
Yeah.
and pitchers of beer were only $11, which seemed like a good idea.
That's a good rate.
And you know me, I'm not a big beer drinker. I'll drink it if I have to, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
I end up drinking an entire pitcher to myself.
I've done that many a night.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
like
you remember we always used to go out.
combined between three people, we had 3 pitchers, but just the same. It was a proud moment, and it didn't taste that bad.
Do you remember when we always used to go out after class?
Yeah.
I would have a late class and you had a late class around the same time. And we always used to go to Lunenburg
My
and you would
favorite
order
vodka soda, normally.
soda, and I would order a full
pitcher of beer. So funny.
And I remember the
More
first
than once
time
you
the
missed
waitress,
the
that's true, I
class
spilled on myself
entirely.
many times. I still remember our waitress was named Cassandra. She was amazing.
She was amazing.
Big shout out to
George, get
Cassandra.
her back.
George,
Didn't
if
you
you're listening.
weren't you like kind of in love with her? Was
No,
that the
that
way?
was-
Everyone was kind
That
of in
was
love
someone
with her.
else, remember?
Yeah.
I don't know if we
yeah.
should mention that.
Everyone was kind of in
Whispering
love
was
with
so-
her.
That was Mike. Don't keep that between you and
Don't
me,
tell
listeners.
anybody.
Cassandra was lovely,
She
though.
was. They have some new staff over there now.
One of them's great.
The other
Big shout out to
horrible.
Anissa.
Yeah, Anissa, hello. And George, we'll shout out to George.
George
we
is
love him.
great.
That other girl, don't know her name,
Well-
don't like her.
There's one that's terrible, there's one that's not bad, then
Mediocre.
there's one that's great.
And then
yeah.
there's Anissa, she's fantastic.
Yeah, Anissa's good.
Where did you get these these $11?
At F&S.
Oh, that's
Oh,
decent.
of course, yeah.
Also, I didn't know they had a tall, blonde, good-looking bartender at F&S, but
That must
apparently
be
they
new.
do. And I
Yeah, normally
asked
their
the guy-
bartender's the guy that looks like the
crusty guy,
Situation
yeah.
from the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, fully.
Anyway, so
fully.
I asked the guy, I was like, is this the
No,
one that
no.
do
Is it the
management?
Situation or is it DJ
Pauly
Pauly
D.
D?
It's
That's
Pauly D.
DJ
Does he
Does
Pauly
he have
D.
the hair too?
The
Yeah.
hair. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
he's got the
the
full
hair.
hair.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so gross.
I'm still not sure it's not DJ Pauly D trying to like supplement the DJ
Trying to-
career, the
trying to
failed DJ
blend
career,
in.
yeah.
And
Your-
this is where he would do it, in Ottawa, at a random
Your
place.
$11 picture story reminds me of a time when I picked up a shift at the Bytown Museum when I was no longer working there, and there was like this historical play on.
I
and
remember you coming home after this night.
I randomly got invited to go and like have drinks with them at the Laugh, and there were $11 pictures at the like Chateau Lafayette.
Yeah.
And I got so unbelievably
remember you
drunk
coming home
with these
that
people
night.
that I
Didn't
did
know.
not know.
Yeah.
And they're like a lot of them were French, and apparently when I am like had a few, I am like way more confident in my French. And I
No,
remember
that's
having
good.
It's
I
a
remember
thing.
having like this hugely like intense conversation and just like coming home being like, this is the best night
I
ever.
remember you coming home and just being like, guess what happened to me? I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's
and
exciting.
Then the next morning I could not leave my
Bedroom.
lying position.
Yeah.
It was
I can remember coming like
bad.
at like 11 a.m. I'd been out for a couple of hours doing things, made some breakfast,
Yeah.
yada yada. And Meg, I can hear her go,
over.
Lauren! And I open her bedroom door and I'm like, hey buddy, what's up? Not much. I'm like, how you feeling? Not good. I can't sit up.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay. So then
Yeah.
I ended up going in and sitting and chatting with her because she couldn't come out to talk
That's
to me,
nice.
so I had to go in.
And then when I recovered, I had to like cancel lunch on Friday.
yeah, I do remember that.
I can't get on a bus right now.
be horrible.
It would be horrible. Would not
Yeah.
be hygienic for
So
anyone.
funny.
So anyway.
I'm the same way though. When you drink a lot and you just get so confident in your French.
Yeah, you're like, yes, bonjour.
I get pretty generally
Yeah.
confident when I've been drinking.
I'm
but
the same with
French
my
is the thing
English.
for me. yeah.
So it's the anglophone.
Yeah.
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 Still not great, but it's quite well. English
Gets
quite
up
well.
there, I know, yeah. I've almost mastered it.
Yeah.
That and sarcasm. I've got that on lock. Yep.
Anyway,
You should do your fact. I'm curious as to
interesting
what
facts.
this fact.
All right, okay, Lauren's going to do an interesting fact, and
Well,
each
this-
of our mystery guests can do an interesting fact as well, and we'll have a very short conversation about them because we've got lots of mystery guests to come.
I didn't know we were doing this, let alone having mystery.
Well, you
guests.
didn't
It's
know we
very
were doing
exciting.
a podcast until 2 minutes before I turned on the
mystery
podcast machine.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, my
And not
my-
just a mystery guest, a whole mystery podcast.
My interesting fact, I've actually heard it
Mhm.
in 3 different places, 3 different mediums even,
Yeah.
within the last 5 days.
Really?
So it must be a thing people are trying to get out there again. Did you know that, okay, so Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone.
Brampton, Ontario. Brantford.
Brantford.
Ontario.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Just like slap
with
yourself
Oh
in
boy,
the face.
sorry.
Great.
Apologies to Lauren Roberts.
So, and all Bramfordians.
yeah, and all
Um,
telephone users.
that too. Anyway, so he invented the phone. He wanted the greeting when you picked it up to be ahoy. Ahoy!
Ahoy.
That's how you would answer the phone.
I've
but
heard this actually, yeah.
Thomas Edison came up with hello and it sounded more appealing apparently. So now
I like ahoy. I think I'm going to start answering my phone with
I kind of
ahoy.
want to do that as well.
Ahoy,
That's
matey.
cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
I actually have a very good fact
Oh.
that I realized that I've been telling people ever since I watched the first episode of Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos yesterday, which blew my mind.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you take from the Big Bang to present day and put it in a calendar year, with the Big Bang being like midnight on January 1st, and today being midnight on January 1st, like
Yeah.
the next year, all of recorded humanity takes up the last 14 seconds of the year.
Interesting.
That's a short amount
We
of time.
are so insignificant, guys.
Good for us.
Let's also talk about
Hi,
maybe, like
Achievers.
some mortality, you know? Like how we're all gonna die.
Let's not bring the podcast
Meg,
down.
depressing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Meg's
this
interesting fact. We're all
is
gonna
Lola's
die.
farewell tour, and we're talking about death.
Sorry,
Come
I
on.
forgot about the fun part of the fun.
This is fun and snappy.
I'm a really big fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It was really good. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Like the first episode and the graphics are amazing.
I haven't actually seen it, but I just like watching videos of him on YouTube.
It's on Netflix.
Huh,
If
well, maybe I'll
anyone's
give
What
it
is
a
this
watch.
you're talking about?
Cosmos?
Cosmos.
Documentary
hosted by
series.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
About the cosmos.
I feel like that would be just far too big an idea for my mind to bear.
That's possible. It is a little heavy sometimes. You get a bit of a headache.
I mean, every once in a while,
Your head
you
is
can,
too full
you know,
of stuff.
snap something out, but sometimes it's hard.
Well, with that Neil deGrasse Tyson conversation, we're going to go into our next break.
Oh, is there
Because
another
our
mystery
next
guest?
mystery guest. Oh,
Yes!
I have to think of a fun fact.
okay. We'll come back with our next mystery guest, and then we'll hear Meg's fun fact.
Good.
Get excited.
We'll be back after this. All right, and we're back, and we've got two mystery guests.
Oh my God!
It's Julia
Hey, friends.
and Lizzie Seibel.
Oh,
Finally
finally
back
back
from
from
fucking
Spain.
Spain. Liz was supposed to be our first guest. Our regular viewers
she
might remember,
jumped
but she
continents.
skipped town and
Hi,
went to Spain.
What's up? Hey, Becca. How are you?
I would like to make note that Meg Julian is wearing my shirt.
Yep.
It's a fabulous shirt.
This
I would like to
shirt-
make note that Julia Hartvickson is wearing my dress. That's my dress.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
This is the most people we've ever had on a podcast.
Of course it is. We've got 17 people in
Like,
the
good
room. And
lord. There's not 17. There's,
Not
there's
quite
6 of
17.
us. Learn to count.
yeah, 6.
You just recounted even though I just did it.
I thought maybe you forgot Julia because she's across the room.
I can count. I'm
Can't forget me, guys.
Have a seat here, Julia.
I will.
All right, so we've got Liz and Julia are our guests on the podcast now. So tell us a bit about yourselves.
I didn't even get to tell you about
You didn't
myself.
ask me about myself.
We don't have time for personal
We've
introductions.
only got 45
folks.
minutes and we have about 19 guests lined up, so we're done with
Keep
Beck
it
and
snappy.
Meg.
We didn't
Your,
even.
your time came
Unless
and
you have
went.
something crucial to add, sit in the corner, Roy.
Meg can do her fun fact in a minute.
I don't have a fun fact.
She-
It's not fun.
She had 10 minutes to come up with one. Well,
Nothing.
I was in the elevator with these two idiots. I hope they're not listening. I've got egg on my face if they are. Anyway, they can figure out how the elevator works. So, twice in a row, I've had idiots going down to get our mystery guests in the elevator. Yeah.
That's funny. Multiple times over the course of this summer, like at work, we'll get on the elevator and invariably one of the three of us, so myself, Devin, or Tristana, who's another girl who works with us, would hit the button of the floor we were already on, like not, because we only go to one
Yeah.
of 2 floors, either 7 or 1. Like those are the options for us. And it happened more often than it should for intelligent people.
See, the elevators at my building
Fucking
are these
elevators.
new elevators where you don't actually have you don't actually have the floor numbers inside
these
these elevators. You have a keypad outside the elevators where you would normally push up or down, and you have
What?
to enter the number of floor that you're on.
Yeah.
It's a stupid idea. They have those at the West Inn. So that means if one person if there's 7 people and they're all going to different floors, you all have to take separate elevators.
They only go to 1 floor at a time.
Yeah.
To me, that seems like such a waste of
Stupid.
energy.
It is. It's a waste of energy
a
and
complete
time.
waste of energy
Yeah.
and time. But,
But I
yeah.
think they were originally conceived to be efficient on energy.
Okay, so Meg, when she was working
in the
pub-
government.
in the
At
government,
Public Works,
so the government has this new thing called Workplace 2.0, and
which I
my,
worked for.
and my department just happened to move into a new building that's Workplace 2.0, and so I was like looking on the website and looking at all the new features and came across this lovely picture of Meg.
Yeah, I'm in
Meg's
the
on
posing.
government
I'm in the
website.
public
Wow.
publicity photos.
You're practically famous
Yeah,
among
we-
bureaucrats.
this-
So far,
job-
Meg is our most famous guest.
This
This is
job
true.
involved a ridiculous amount of photo shoots in offices. Like
That's funny.
there are easily like 6 sets of pictures of me. That's a good one because
It's
that
on
was
the
a good
website.
outfit that day. But some days
I
it would
used
just be like, we're going to this office, guys, and we're taking a bunch of pictures. It's like, okay, it's casual Friday.
I used to be a student mentor at Ottawa U, and one time they asked a few of us mentors to be in a photo shoot. And so they had me with this biology textbook, and I don't know anything past like grade 11 biology, really. And like I was on the university, like the Faculty of Social Sciences website, holding a biology textbook for the mentoring page.
That's hilarious.
And my profs were emailing me saying, "Oh, I saw you on the website, Julia," which is kind of awkward because
reading a book that doesn't belong in that faculty and
Not
it's
at
a topic
all.
you don't know anything
Yeah.
about. Well, they did that.
Why didn't they get a book that like was relevant?
They
Did they not find one?
This was in the students' like
Communist
backpack.
manifesto.
We had that happen.
That
this
would
summer.
have been very
Yeah,
suitable
perfect.
for me.
Yeah, little Mark.
Liz,
No,
you're not really talking.
yeah,
you need to
Lizzie,
be
come
talking.
on.
to
That's
be
because
guys.
there are 8
Spice it
people
up.
talking
There's
already.
only 6 people in the room.
There are 6 people in the
Liz.
room, and one of them is you.
Yeah.
So wrong, Roy. I don't know why
Why do
Roy
you
is the
call
name
him-
for
everyone
the
Roy? This is
slow
like the
people
third
this
time.
evening, but I don't know. It's a conversation I had this week, and now it's stuck in my head.
Sometimes I make up names for my pimples.
That is a very fun fact.
And on
is.
that note,
But Roy would be a really good pimple name.
Roy's the, no,
Oh,
you use Roy
great
for like,
pimple
you
name.
know, something's a little slow, just in
Yeah, those
common sense wise.
Yeah.
You know what I
those
mean?
are the pimples that don't go away.
Yeah.
Roy.
We all need your help, Roy. That's what I would. That's the phrase, but
Huh.
you can use it on the end of other things.
Why Roy?
I don't know. Well, it's a story that happened to someone I know, and now it's just that was basically the story was there was someone named Roy. He wanted to be a part of a certain situation, and another person within the situation was like, "We don't need your help, Roy," and it was very funny. It was just kind of a one of those things.
One of those.
One of
Anyway, so
those
now
things.
just we don't need your help, Roy, has become a saying in my family's household. So you can toss it out any old time. That's
Liz,
about it.
tell us a bit about yourself.
Come on, Lizzie.
What do you want to know?
How was Spain?
Anything?
Spain was incredible.
Was it worth missing our podcast?
It was. Is that a real question? Of course it was worth
Get
watching
out!
your podcast. I would give up our friendship to go back to Spain.
Jesus. That's a bit
Our
harsh.
Hashtag
Just your
real
friendship,
talk.
Mark. Yeah.
Not with Lauren.
You wouldn't
just
give your
Mark.
friendship up with me to go back to
No,
Spain.
no, never.
Okay. Well, I
Never.
saw
I
that.
didn't even
And
know
not
we were
me.
No, never. No.
I
I
saw
didn't even
that
know
they
we
did.
were friends.
I saw that they
Good one,
didn't
Mark.
start partying until like 2 a.m.
Yeah, they eat really late. They eat at like 8 or 9.
I like that.
And
in
then-
the
I like
couple.
that too.
I
I
would
much
enjoy
prefer
that
to eat
also.
later.
But they
than-
don't go out. Like if they go clubbing or something, the clubs don't open until midnight, and they don't go out until like
That I
2
wouldn't like.
a.m.
I like to
And
be
they
in
just
bed
stay
by
out
11.
until like 8 in the morning.
Dinner at 9, bed by 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
See,
I'm-
that
my
would work
life.
really well for me because I'm always late to everything. Like, I'm
True.
always late. I think I
Yeah.
would fit in really well in Spain.
It's just so hard to stay up until 2 a.m. You know,
Word.
to go out.
But I guess you get used to it.
Like
Like,
in Canada, like clubs close at 2 a.m.
but don't people in Spain
Yeah.
like take naps frequently in the afternoon?
Siestas,
That's
I believe
siesta.
they
Yeah. But even then, if you're eating at like 8 or 9,
Siesta.
what the
Dun,
hell
dun,
do you do
dun,
until
dun,
2 a.m.?
Literally,
You can't.
I don't think that song says siesta.
That is that's,
Maybe.
no,
I'm thinking
not even
fiesta.
a little bit.
Yeah,
You're thinking
fiesta rhymes with
yeah. Different
siesta.
things. That's funny.
Two very different words.
But
Probably.
it works. You can have a
Obviously.
siesta fiesta. Why wouldn't you want to have a nap party?
Oh.
Nap.
Because it's not really a party because you're napping.
That's Lauren
Every
DeGroot. Every
nap is a
party.
party.
Yeah, that's true.
Hi-yo.
Heyo.
Shout out to
Good
Lauren
one.
DeGroot in Vancouver.
That's funny because at
Yeah.
your party, Liz, I just walked into your bedroom to get my bag, and Lauren, 5 minutes ago, I was having a beer pong game with, like, was passed out on
She
your
just
bed.
disappears and
She
falls-
just disappears
she just
and
sleeps.
sleeps.
Every party I think I've ever been to with Lauren DeGroot, she falls asleep. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't
I
matter
really
which house it
admire
is.
that.
Asleep.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to be like, just like able to just go down for a 10-minute nap, wake up, be ready to go again.
I'd like
Well,
that
if you
too.
need to use the futon at any point tonight, Meg, it's yours.
Good to know.
Where's that big comfy chair?
In the corner, right there.
This room has so much less stuff in it.
It does,
Can
yeah.
you talk about
It
that for a
echoes.
second?
It's, yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty.
It's
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
It
Anyway.
looks good.
Right?
Less
Yeah,
stuff in
it does
it.
look good.
Anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
Instagram.
on that note,
Instagram.
Lauren got an Instagram.
I'm thinking of getting Instagram because I
Oh my
recently
gosh.
made the very important life choice, one I feel very guilty about, being somewhat on the Marxist side of the spectrum. I bought an iPhone.
Whoa!
I know. I did.
Blasphemous.
Right?
On the marks. That's like the communist version of our podcast.
That's cool.
That's actually
You
very
should
witty.
do like a Marxism feature or something on
If Julia
Mayday.
becomes a new co-host, we're gonna have to change the show to On the Marks.
I like that.
Don't talk about who replacing me while I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's
You're
like,
not
Sorry.
that's
replaceable.
like telling which one of your kids you like better.
Tune in next week to meet the new co-host.
Mystery host.
Just kidding, I don't actually know who it is yet. But they
Good.
may be sitting at this table.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
certainly not me.
No, it's not Becca, she
Exactly.
hasn't been
Kidding.
asked.
You were fully making eye contact with Liz when you
He
said
wants
that.
me to do it. I don't know how much time I have.
It's been discussed.
Some people have lives.
Can I just go on
Not
record
me.
saying that I was told this week by someone who shall remain nameless that the podcast will be nowhere near as merryful. That was the word used.
Was it a Ronca?
Without me.
Was it
no,
a Ronca?
it wasn't Ronca.
Oh. Big shout out to Aronka. I think who
Our
might
biggest
be
fan.
our only
Yes.
listener. We haven't actually given her a shout out
Aronka,
yet. She listens
you win the prize.
religiously and then always sends me messages
And
about
we get
things.
feedback. She likes the theme song. She wants to know about our.
She
you know,
really
what's
liked your
going
open mic
on.
song.
There's a theme song?
I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
There's
I
no
only
lyrics,
listened
it's
to
just
the first
ukulele.
one.
It's very good.
It's not in the first one. It's in
Okay.
every subsequent
I listened to the
episode.
first one. I was like, "Come on, guys, you could do better than that.
Yeah,
you
no,
guys
listen
both
to the
love
music
music
stuff.
so much."
I wrote some music for it. It-
well,
That's
that's
very wonderful.
yeah, so all the music
It
you
goes
hear
to show that these people are not
clearly
listening to the
don't
podcast.
listen.
I've actually
Really
never
get
listened
around
to
to
it.
it.
All the music
Right now,
you
I
hear
don't
on the
have internet or
podcast,
television.
I
and
wrote.
that's
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very
Anyway.
cool.
So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with my life.
come to my house.
I don't know. My
All right.
modem got fried.
Speaking
So no
of
internet.
Lauren's music,
No orange is the new black.
you're going to hear it again right now because we're going to
You
go into
are.
another little break while we go and wait for our next mystery guest.
Oh my God, I'm so
excited. And we're back.
Hello, people.
We've got our next mystery guest showing up any second now
How do you know that?
because
How'd they get in the
they've
building?
texted me.
How'd
I don't
they get
know.
in the
They just got let in because I guess the guy who
Whatever.
works downstairs.
That grumpy old crab apple wouldn't let me in.
leave a list
Likes
of
them
names, and
more.
he could have even checked IDs if he wanted. He's, no, we don't do that. No one gets in without a pass. And then he just is letting people in left, right, and center.
You
what,
wouldn't let me in.
what a crab apple. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dink.
Well,
They're in. They're on their way up. I'm expecting
is
them any
it?
second.
Who
It's
is
a
it?
mystery guest.
Wait, they or like
Well, there
singular?
are two of them together.
will you give us some
Whoa.
guesses about who it is? while
Give
we're
us some
sitting here?
hints.
Well, they'll be here in 30 seconds. Why don't you
Give
just
us a
wait?
hint.
Do they bring me
It'll be-
poutine?
I don't
Probably
like
not.
surprises.
It'll be compelling radio. We can try and collectively
This
guess.
isn't radio.
It'll be like
This
an
is a
Agatha
podcast.
Christie
Whatever.
mystery.
Podcast is the law
Give
of
us.
radio.
Let's see if I can guess. 'Cause-
Okay,
give
go
some
ahead.
answers. Well, no, give some clues.
We'll play 20 questions over it. There are only 12 people showing up to the party.
Male or female?
Did you just burp on the podcast?
Liz burped on the podcast.
Male or female?
Liz, we're not that kind of podcast. What do you think
Male
this
or
is, Howard
female?
Stern? Both.
Maybe they don't identify.
A male and a female.
It's a hermaphrodite
Is it
on the
Thomas and
podcast.
Kate?
Maybe we
I
should
don't
move
know
away
who that
from
is.
gender
Thomas and
binaries,
Kate.
guys.
Oh, Thomas and Kate. I thought you said Thompson
five.
Kate. Hey! The mystery guest is here.
Arrived.
Say hello.
Me?
You're on the podcast.
You're on the podcast.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
She didn't want to be on the podcast, so I didn't tell her.
Excellent.
It's excited.
I am.
It's Melissa Johnston, by the way.
Johnson, everybody!
Friend.
This is Jesse.
And Jesse's there too. It's Lauren's farewell podcast, so all her friends are showing up as
This is
mystery
my
guests.
farewell tour. Get excited.
I am excited.
Did you guys bring
You sound excited.
She's literally over the moon.
No.
Are we supposed to?
No, I was just hoping
Yeah,
someone
I
would show
texted
them.
you. Make sure you bring poutine for 20.
You did not.
I did, actually. It's your party gift to me. Why did we
I wish this podcast was live.
I am
so
now
I
on
could
the
tell
podcast.
I know. And then all they can see the face.
I
Did you
know.
tell
Now
us?
if they were listening.
Hold on, we're recording, right?
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah, we're
Okay, good. There's a lot of
I wonder how this is gonna
Baloney.
sound.
It's gonna
That's
sound
a fabulous
horrendous.
shirt, May.
Horrendous.
Thank you, Julia. It's my shirt that
Thanks,
Nick
very
stole from my
lovely.
closet one night.
I'm renting it.
She's renting it. Are you paying?
I'm not getting paid anything, but she's.
It's adorable.
It's a very, it's
Getting paid and
She's one of the Meg's a
Yeah.
borrower. A regular human-sized borrower.
no,
Like
we
one of those
were
Shows
tiny
up
people.
and
we were
pilfers
going
things.
out one night
That's
and I
it.
was not wearing. I don't know. We were trying on all the
Meg
clothes.
forgot to wear a
All
shirt
the
one
clothes.
night.
Happens to me all the
Liz's-
time.
in Liz's
I showed up
closet,
at work
and
with
I
black
was like,
pants
this
the
one
other
is
day.
amazing.
I
was
I was like,
embarrassing,
how much
yeah.
do you want for it? Liz was like, I don't want to give it away. I was like, okay, can I borrow it for a couple of weeks?
Well, this is by far the most boring conversation we've
That
ever
was
had
a
on
month
the podcast.
ago.
I got
never
it from
tried
the
it.
free store, which operates on the University of Ottawa campus, where you
Hello.
can go in and get
Fabulous.
everything for free.
So
So you got it for free, and now Meg stole it from you for free.
So like it's kind of like
Borrow
paid,
it. It's a free
paid
item.
forward.
Speaking of free clothes, if anyone needs free clothes, I am getting rid
I need
of
some
a
free
lot
clothes.
from my closet.
Mark
Can
needs
I
to
come
be
shop
micro
in your
skirt.
Yeah.
I think we should get him one of those.
I might
can.
come
You
too.
should.
Wear a lot of
It's just
micro
a belt.
minis.
All of your stretchy t-shirts.
Pardon me?
All of your stretchy
Yeah.
Obviously,
shirts.
she wears all of
I
them.
don't have any t-shirts, but I have lots of stretchy dresses.
I feel like we're about the same size.
I want dresses.
Okay, let's bring it back to the pod.
Whatever, Mark. This
Who
is your
else is-
podcast.
Who else is regretting
Mystery
having a farewell
revolution.
tour? Just me.
Melissa's the mystery guest. She's yet to say a word except for hello.
And she didn't sound that excited.
She's pretty far away from the recording device.
No, we're not talking about clothes. No more
Yes!
clothes talk.
Pick another
Yes.
topic.
Just come over.
Mystery guest.
Melissa,
take over the podcast.
Melissa, tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh my gosh, I listened to the last one and this was a tough one for Devin to answer too.
Yeah.
It was.
Devin
finally someone
Devin
who listens to the
struggles, though.
podcast.
There.
Did you hear Did you hear that episode of the podcast where we really ripped Liz a new one?
You guys edited that out. Though.
Ryan has been listening to your podcast, and he
We
told
did
me
what?
that you guys talk about
I
Liz
thought
all
I did.
the
I
time.
listened to the first
Oh,
podcast,
and
and
she
I
was
was
in
told that
Spain?
you talked about Liz not coming, and I don't remember hearing that.
The very end.
That's not in the first podcast.
Oh,
Is there
it's
someone
the
at the
second
door?
Podcast.
Well, you guys
Do we have yet another mystery guest?
No, we don't. Becca says we don't.
Yeah, we cut you.
Thought I heard it not.
Why? What'd you say? Because you
you
skipped
got all of our listeners
to
excited.
the other side of the world in
nothing.
order to not be here, Liz. So
I
we
had
had
those
to
plans
ramp
for
apart a
months.
little.
And we're gonna have another mystery guest showing up shortly.
Yes, get excited,
Based on
everybody.
the phone call I just received and then declined.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Who
Guy.
is it?
Or
I don't know.
girl,
Or no, it's a
or-
guy.
My guess is Ryan. Ryan is my guess.
Ryan, Ray
It's
of
Ryan.
Light.
He
You
was
ruined
excited
it.
for TN.
It is. It's TN.
TN
That
is
stands for
happening.
tonight.
God,
And
Ryan
Ryan
is
is
Well,
the
someone
best.
should go get Ryan, and we will be right back.
If he's here, unless he's like on the bus an hour away and asking directions or something.
He
And
knows where I live.
we're sending Becca down. He's probably here.
Probably
Go,
is.
Becca.
Becca's
Go,
good.
Becca. Go, Becca.
Oh.
The toilet is broken.
This podcast just got brought down.
Yeah.
And ruined.
It's just like the flanger arm, it's just a little piece, but
Say that
It
again.
just won't flash?
Oh, that
yeah, you
happens.
just gotta pull it up.
That happens, yeah.
But it's like broke right off. I don't know.
You broke it off?
I didn't break it off.
Who broke it off?
Well, I didn't break it off. I
Wait,
used
what
washi
happened?
I didn't break it off.
Can we not record this?
Okay, hold on. This is actually funny.
We're
We've sent Becca down to get Ryan because he called and we assumed he was here. I just got a text from Ryan. It says, "Can you tell Lauren I won't be at her place for another 15 minutes?" So Becca's on a
Stand in
fruitless mission.
Oh well.
Maybe she should get me poutine.
Maybe we should take a break
Yeah, let's
while
take a
we
break.
deal with this
All
plumbing
right.
Maybe we'll
issue.
take
Yeah,
a
let's
break.
take a
and
break.
fix the
Deal with the
toilet.
plumbing problem.
I think
and
that's
then we'll
A
come back.
plumbing break.
And when we come back,
Bye.
we'll talk to Melissa, and then our next mystery guest will be here by
That
then as
too.
well. And
Perfect.
Jesse.
Goodbye,
We'll
podcast.
also talk to him.
That was
And we're back.
And we're back.
Poutine.
Liz
And
got poutine.
Ryan.
Good.
Hi, I'm
Why don't you
Ryan.
Just ruin it, Julia.
Oh, Julia ruined the mystery
Everyone,
guest.
this is
You know, this
Ryan.
is the second time she ruined the mystery
Ryan,
guest.
this
She
is
called it
everyone.
before he came
Good
too.
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Whatever.
Ryan's here. Ryan's a listener of the podcast.
Yes, I've
He's
seen the first two episodes.
You haven't seen it. You've
No,
listened
or
to
You've
it.
listened to it.
listened. Actually,
You haven't
only,
listened to the third one? I think it's our best, to be honest.
And the third one with Devin is quite good.
I mean, take or
It
leave
starts
the dapper
off a
chap
little
some
slow.
call Devin,
It
but
starts off a
it's a
little
good
slow.
episode. The banter is on par with perfection.
Whoa.
That's pretty
I know.
good.
Liz, how's your poutine?
Poutine's amazing.
Where's it from?
Smokes. Which is not the best poutine.
Yeah.
But it does.
Okay, let's not trash Smokes. They might want to be a sponsor at some
Yeah.
point.
So far we've
they
got
don't.
Smokes, IKEA,
You know,
and
I've
Diet
only
Coke.
had good experiences at Smokes.
Yeah.
Y'all should eat there.
We have another surprise
Hey,
guest.
it's our next mystery guest.
Oh my god! Introduce yourself,
You want us
Mr.
to-
Guest.
No.
Hello.
Graham.
Yay!
Graham Campbell.
Graham,
Whoop
how are
de
you,
whoop.
Haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
I know.
All right, enough side conversations between the mystery guests.
There's now 100,000 people in this room.
This is too many people for one
This is,
podcast.
I think, the quietest this group has
Did
ever
you explain
been.
to Graham that he's on a podcast?
I did explain.
I am
Oh,
on
good,
a podcast.
okay, good,
I am under.
good.
I now know that I am actually being recorded.
It's
Be
almost
more
it's almost
excited.
it's almost like the NSA. You know,
Don't
we're all
say-
being recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
our
say
whole
anything
thing-
scandalous. We
Yeah.
will share it with
My
your
middle
employers.
name is liability.
Hey Ryan, have you read the new Glenn Greenwald book? It's called No Place to Hide. It's about the NSA.
Who's
Glenn
Glenn
Greenwald. He was the
Greenwald.
guy who worked with Snowden to expose all.
You know
No.
what's fun? Interesting facts. Our favorite
Interesting
segment.
fact.
I have
Let's
an
do this.
interesting fact.
Lizzy's
Interesting
got
fact.
one.
Go for it.
Interesting fact. This is what I learned in Spain. When you're in Spain late at night walking on the streets, you are harassed by cockroaches that run around all over the streets at night.
Liz,
They
they
come
prefer
out of the
homeless
sewers.
people. Don't call them cockroaches. That's so
I
fucking
don't
rude.
think that's
Next,
Are you
next.
talking
I have a
about
fun
Spanish
fact.
then?
Go,
or the
Ryan.
bugs?
No,
Ryan,
I'm
fun
talking about
fact.
the
Ryan
actual
has
bug.
his full
Ryan,
of
go
fun
for a
facts.
fun fact
Do
that's
this,
not
Ryan.
so rude. to
Did
the
you
homeless.
know that
Like
I
Liz.
may have said this before? I like this fun fact.
Not on the podcast, you haven't.
This is
though.
new to our
not on the
listeners.
podcast.
Get
Only
excited.
124 days till Christmas.
Oh my
From
god,
today?
you said this yesterday.
I love that it's a fun fact that changes every day of the year.
That's sort of a fun fact.
So it's like a fun, ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
Fun. Anyone else have a fun fact?
Fun fact, there are not enough cheese curds in this
That's
poutine.
these. None of
That's
these are
not a fun
facts.
fact.
None of these are fun
That is
facts.
a fact.
Mine was a fact.
Yours is a fact.
Yours is a fact for the next couple
Mine is
of
also
hours.
fun.
That's
At least it
not
was
a fact
It's
anymore.
not a myth.
Do you want to know a fun fact
Yes.
from my days as a Bytown
Do I ever?
museum
Always.
tour guide? You guys have
Lay
probably
it on
heard
us.
it because it was in my vocational speech.
Well, the fans
Yeah,
haven't.
I wrote it right. Did you know that Sir Wilfrid Laurier likely had like a very long-term mistress who like he fathered children with and then like paid for their education, and it was like quite
Really?
a scandal, but it was kind of just like accepted by all of the parties.
Huh.
I think I've heard that.
That's
on
Yeah.
the
That
Haunted
sounds like
Walk or
Ottawa
something.
politics in general.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say,
Yeah.
I
I was
can
gonna say-
I can name a couple of current
Yeah,
leaders
like-
that are.
This
Having
isn't libelous because other
mistress
things have reported
issues.
on it. But Mike Duffy apparently has a love child
Peruvian.
in
From
Peru.
Peru.
I heard
Yeah.
about that.
And
Yeah,
also
very-
there's of
very
course
exotic.
John Diefenbaker's
Yes.
son,
Also
Diefenbaby.
has- yeah.
the Diefenbaby. Wouldn't it be fun if John Diefenbaker's son married Mike
Duffy
Duffy?
Child,
Love
Diefenbaby, and Duffy Child have
That'd be the
children.
wedding of the year.
Wedding of the year and also a kick-ass reality
That would
program.
be attended by no
Diefy Duffy.
dignitaries.
Diefenbaby Duffy was what it was just called. Yes, let's patent this shit now.
All right.
Also, we're gonna have to set up an introduction.
Also, did you guys know that there's like a really, really high percentage of babies who like are not like who they think their father is not actually their father?
I would believe that.
Like
Really?
Yeah, I believe
I
that.
can't remember the percentage because I saw this really interesting documentary called Stories We Tell, which is about the notable Canadian director / actress Sarah Polley,
right, of course.
and her realizing that the man that she thought was her father is actually not her biological father because her mother had an affair, and like trying to figure out who her dad is.
I'm
And she
sure
like
that happens.
she
a
said
lot.
something like a pretty like reasonably
sad,
big
but it's true.
percentage, like 8%, like in the vicinity of like 10% of children, like your dad's not your dad. So think
Wow.
about that, listeners.
I've got daddy
Your
issues, so I'm
dad
not
might
gonna
not
touch
be
that
your
one.
dad.
I'm pretty sure my dad is my dad. The
You're
Donahue-
exactly like him.
The Donahue genes
You're
are
literally
very-
like it's like copy paste, only 50 years difference. Whatever.
You think my dad is 72 years old?
Yeah, obviously. Graham, do you have a fun fact?
Yeah,
I
Graham
unfortunately
hasn't.
do not.
Come on, you're full of useless information. that you
Graham
share
is the
all
most
time.
dressed up person at this
He's
podcast.
looking
for sure.
snazzy,
I'm
got
gonna
the
say.
best and
Fun
the
fact,
tie.
I've not fitted into this vest for over a year.
Woo!
All right.
Best fact ever. I don't have a vest. I used to have a vest.
They're
it
overrated. They
was
only cover
black.
part of your body.
And
Sucks.
I mean, I can appreciate a good waistcoat, but what there's no sleeves.
Nope.
Doesn't keep you warm. It doesn't
No, I think
quite
it's
meet
dumb.
your
I
pants,
don't-
so there's.
Yeah.
But guys,
There's
it's
no gap
all
right
about
here.
the
It's
sweat.
back sweat.
Yeah,
It's
they
terrible.
look cool.
It's
They
terrible.
look
I
cool.
did.
But guys.
They were really cool in the
Guys.
early 2000s
Wow.
when hipsters were still really
I had
Yeah,
a vest when I was
exactly,
very
yeah.
young. It was black denim.
You would have a black denim
I was
vest.
very young. We had
My
You have a
father
straight
had a black
t-shirt
denim
under that?
vest.
When I
We
was
have
in
a,
high
uh,
school,
we
I
have
had
a
a black
photo of
denim
me and my
vest.
I had a jean, like a blue denim vest, and I was the coolest kid at daycare.
Who else had a really big crush on Spencer Reed from
Yes,
Criminal
Criminal
Minds?
Minds. He
Because
is
of the sweater
so-
vest.
Yeah, he
Oh,
rocks the sweater
man.
vest better than anyone else does.
Just
I would
so
tend
great.
to agree. Though,
I would not.
Well,
why?
I
He's
don't
Do
know
you
guys.
like
I can't
men?
think of
He's
who
like
that is.
tall and gangly and
Mark's
loose.
just
Oh,
not
so
God,
hot.
it's
Sweater
just
vest.
hitting all of the things.
Well, I can rock a
you
sweater
know?
vest.
You would look like an 87-year-old woman if you wore a sweater vest.
That was a very.
Fuck,
like,
that was
exact
harsh. That was harsh.
I don't think you would
Specific-
sound like
Also,
There
he
was
chose
no
it
ballpark.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
87.
Way to
Thank
offend the
you, Julia.
87-year-old women.
Yeah, it's
I
not a bad
apologize to all of our
Oh.
87-year-old female listeners. That was rude. There are so many.
All one of them.
I don't. Yeah.
I doubt there's even that.
You
many.
know what?
I would
If you
trust
want to
those
wear
that
a
don't
sweater
have
vest,
that.
you should wear a
I
sweater
do not want to
vest.
wear a sweater vest.
I don't
Well,
think
then
you
don't wear
should.
one.
I don't
Yeah, I
think you
won't.
should.
That solves the problem.
Good.
So fun fact, did you guys know that there's actually a song about Diefenbaker called Dief the Chief?
Yes, I did.
I didn't
I
know
can
that.
recite the whole thing.
Oh, don't
Really?
get it going.
A man came out of Prince Albert in the year of 30. I can't remember it.
No.
In
Fail.
the
He can
year
recite
of
it word
50.
for word. The seventh
Oh,
word
I haven't heard
stumped.
it yet.
Let's face it, all of us could just assume that he's just making this up.
No,
and
no,
nothing's
no.
actually
I can
known.
sing the chorus. Deef is the chief. Deef is the chief. And Deef will be the chief again. Everybody happy back in 57, but nobody's happy since then. There was law in the land, order in the hills, something back home. And I know in my heart that Deef will be the chief and a dollar worth a dollar again. I can't remember it all.
How do you know that?
Has anyone ever
Chief
actually
walking
been to
buffalo
Prince
the
Albert?
people
Stop.
of the Cree, honorary chief,
Is
colonel
there an
to the
off button?
Sioux.
How do you know this stuff?
He's a
I wanna hear the rest of
customary
it. I'm
colonel
learning.
up in Saskatoon and a
Mark.
personal acquaintance of the Queen.
This is my farewell
He's
tour.
a
You're
something
ruining
and a
it.
something and a line
Ruining
and a
it.
kinsman man
Related.
too, and he's 8
Who's
or
actually
80 on
been to
November
Prince Albert?
18.
That shit is bleak.
Isn't he
I
dead?
feel like I
Oh,
was
he's long dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's quite
It's a
bad.
bleak place. Mainly I went there in the winter and it was very cold.
No, I learned
Yeah.
it independently
Which
on
makes
my own.
things bleak,
Yeah.
but
Becca has a fun fact.
This is, I don't know how widely known this is, but there is a National Historic Site in Canada called Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump.
I've been
I've been there! So cool!
Yeah, I've
And
been to Head Smashed In.
It's called that quite literally because the First Nations used to
their heads
instead of like throwing instead of like trying to
Buffalo.
kill the buffalo by means of weapon, they would
I
just
would
run
know
them
I
off the
was
cliff,
really little.
and the buffalo would run off the cliff and fall.
Get
and
their head smashed.
Yeah, and that's how they would
See,
It's
For
an
some
interesting
reason, that makes
story.
me want to go West Vancouver, Sunshine Coast, see the Sky Country.
It's in Alberta.
Really badly,
interesting.
so I
Okay,
did.
it's an interesting story. We went there on a field trip. It's just a big hill. It's a big cliff. There's really
There's
not
a
much
nice
to
museum
see.
though.
There's a museum, but there's not much to see in the museum.
I remember thinking it was really cool.
Basically,
but I
what
was
Becca's
7.
story sums it all up. There's no reason to go.
I thought that they said that it was like because the buffalo like jumped and would get their head smashed, but it was also because of like one time there was this dude who was like underneath where the buffalo were jumping and he got his head smashed in.
That would be funny.
At the buffalo jump. That's what I remember, but like
This
that
is the
this
second
was like
time Meg has
1998.
talked about death this evening.
We're all gonna die, listeners. Never forget.
Yeah, there's
Never
also
forget.
Frank Slide. Has anyone been to Frank Slide?
That's an amazing name.
Has anyone been to the white bean capital of Canada?
I have.
Yes.
Way to go!
Hensel,
people.
Ontario.
Hensel, Ontario.
It's Lauren's hometown. If
It
you
is.
listened to the podcast last week, you
Has
know.
anyone been to Watson's Mill? Oh, you teased it in the first episode, but you didn't actually
Meg, we're not
go,
talking about
Lauren.
Watson's
Man, don't talk about the first episode of Watson's Mill or anything
Ever.
discussed in that conversation.
I worked there for
We
5
almost got
years,
sued over that
people.
conversation.
Yeah.
Really?
We sued Reliable practically.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Did
Anyway,
someone-
moving on.
Did someone email you?
Yeah, the folks at Watson's Mill were very
Hey,
upset.
I would have put it past them.
You you know the frozen food producer.
That took a turn.
You know the
What's
frozen
in
food
Phil?
section at the grocery
Other
store?
things. You know the frozen food section.
Because you're talking about the white bean capital of Canada. And you know the frozen food producer McCain's? Yeah, so they're like one of the main like super rich families in New Brunswick. Them and the Irvings. The Irvings are much richer, but
They own all the gas stations.
all the gas
They own,
stations.
like-
All Irvings, and they all have restaurants in them.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Anyway, so the
Irving.
McCain's, the one of their main plants is like based out of this really small town in New Brunswick called Florenceville, Bristol. And I've been
there.
I've been there once, and every single thing is named McCain. Like the law firm is McCain and Associates. Every single thing is McCain.
That's like that movie. Have you seen that movie? It's got Sandy B and that hot
The
man
Proposal.
Ryan Reynolds, and they go to that, and everything is named after his family. And the Ramon guy he's the stripper and the bank teller and the grocery man.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
Fantastic.
Ramon. He works at the Sheraton now, if I'm not mistaken.
Where's
He does.
the town in New Brunswick?
That's an
that
inside
has
joke
the
regarding
Inside
Benny.
joke.
Big shout out to
I've
Ramon.
been there too.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, we love Ramon. It's good to spend some time with him.
Mhm.
Anyway,
No
we're
side
coming to the end of our
conversation,
time here.
We are. We're coming to the end of our time.
Oh no.
We're gonna go around in
Oh,
a circle
no.
and we're gonna say a farewell. Liz, you're gonna start. Say goodbye to our listeners.
Goodbye, listeners. It doesn't include me.
You can say something.
I haven't listened to a single podcast.
Shame on you.
I fast forwarded through one.
Do not stand
Yeah,
for
Liz.
re-election.
I remember I sent Liz the link to our podcast.
First podcast.
And about 30 seconds after she sent it, she was like, "Why are you talking about me?" We talked about Liz 40 minutes in. She just skipped right to the end and somehow found
It was
the 1
like
minute section where we
11:30
talked
at night,
about
and I had to go to work, and I was not going to lay in bed and listen to your podcast.
I don't know how she pointed out the one
Yeah,
spot
the
where
1
we mentioned her,
minute
the
where we
30
mentioned
I
seconds.
just skipped through and heard my name and was like, well, what are you saying about me? I hear you talk about me a lot on this podcast.
Not
I'm
very
definitely
often.
going to have to
It's
learn.
all
hot
bad,
topic.
but okay. Ryan,
Well, thanks for inviting me on the show, guys.
we didn't really invite you, just showed up
Oh,
and
just
put
showed
on
up,
the show.
okay.
And,
Well,
There were a lot of
Spontaneous.
stories told about
I
me.
was-
just so you know, everyone who hasn't been a guest can still be a guest in the future as like a full episode guest.
Yeah,
this is
they're
just a
just
special
desperate
edition.
to have me on
This
this
is just a
podcast.
special edition because Lauren's leaving.
Okay.
So you'll
Awesome.
still get your full
Special
episode,
edition.
Ryan.
Wow.
So if you
I've
didn't,
arrived.
I'm looking
I've
forward
special
to that.
edition.
good.
Good.
Meg,
Au revoir, listeners.
What Ryan said. Goodbye.
well said, Meg. Graham,
To all those that still listen to podcasts, it's been a pleasure.
Everyone.
that's everyone.
Everybody in 2006.
Hey, hey.
I feel like
if
more
you're still
people
wearing a
are
Von Dutch trucker hat, you should probably stop.
Hurtful.
But
Everyone
if you're
listens to
still
podcasts.
listening,
Those
keep
are
it up.
breezy.
Keep it up.
Good. Back
Keep
up.
it up.
Breezy.
Well, it's been fun.
I feel like more people would listen if
All
you
right.
had to.
Good.
Melissa.
Melissa.
Have a good rest of your day.
It's,
Or evening.
it's probably 11 o'clock
Or
at night.
morning.
Keep in mind.
Well, yeah, because this has been going on for 17 hours. I apologize,
That tickles me
listeners.
sometimes.
Come on.
Normally in private, but I mean also on the podcast.
Solid.
Jesse just said thanks
Jesse,
a lot.
thanks a lot. Julia?
Das Vidania, comrades, and Lauren will miss you.
Yeah, well, that's Lauren as our guest. I know I'll miss Lauren as my trusty sidekick. She's all those
Mark,
things I've
don't
called
get-
her in the past.
If anyone wants to keep Lauren in Ottawa, give her a job.
Yeah. If you want me back on the podcast, someone needs to give me a job.
That's true, in Ottawa.
In Ottawa.
I'm not traveling. All right. Well,
Or Mark and I need codes, like 2 jobs in one country, in one city. Would also be good. Well, today's podcast was brought to you in part
everyone follow along. You'll catch it
by
quickly. Just start shouting.
the letter H.
Hello.
House. Hats.
Ham's happy.
Pickups. Horn.
Herpes.
Horny.
Rose.
Oh, Liz, it's rude.
Her.
It's accurate.
Him.
Herself.
Himself.
Hilarious.
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 And also by the number
11.
H11.
7-Eleven. What?
That's not
That's not how the game works,
you
Liz.
don't shout during the number section.
Oh.
All right, from all
many
of us
rules.
here, thank you.
And final farewell.
Goodbye. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.